Welcome back to SJG Perspective. Hey, tonight we're going to do a quick video on some of the riots that are taking place, or protests. I won't call them riots because they're not riots. Excuse me for using the terminology of what's going on here in our crappy streets with our crappy idiot, useful morons out there. Protests that are taking place in the UK over lockdowns. We're too busy fighting one another to come together and realize that it's all about division and keeping us angry with one another. Am I happy with the election results? No. But am I awakened to now more than ever that our voices don't mean squat? Pretty much. And I don't know when that changes. But if it's not evident to you that you are living in you're living in a banana republic where they do selections, not elections, you need to wake up. You need to come around and you need to wake up to the fomented fake division and games that are being played with you right now. This video that comes out of the UK is showing the populace, and I'm sure they don't all agree on politics, but you know what they do agree on? Freedom. Like I said, I'm not happy with what's happened with our election, but guess what's coming? Way bigger than who's president. It's your freedom, your actual freedom with these upcoming protests and upcoming lockdowns that are going to be getting enacted for a fake pandemic. For a fake pandemic that they are using as a psyop on all of us. And they're taking our freedoms away inch by inch, and not even inch by inch anymore, stride by stride. And at least here in the UK, they are standing up, marching out in the streets together and pushing back on the true authoritarianism, on true totalitarianism. We're too freaking, distracted with Black Lives Matter and Antifa out there preaching all this, Marxist bullshit. When in reality, they're about ready to shove needles in our arms and about ready to electronically mark us and hurt us like cattle, and we're letting them do it and not pushing back on them in any way, shape, or form. Let's watch this video, and I'm just going to commentate over the top of it, give some thoughts as it's playing. Maybe I'll pause it. But here's what we need to be doing. Look at that. This guy's getting arrested, not because he's a criminal, right? Not because he's a criminal and he did something wrong, other than resisting the lockdowns, resisting tyrannical lockdowns, telling people they have to stay inside their home and they got to close their businesses and that they got to wear masks. For a virus that 99.997% of people are absolutely fine. For many therapeutics, they'll clear it up in 2 days, 1 or 2 days. But they're pushing this, and it's going to get ramped back up. Now that we're getting done with this election nonsense, this election distraction, that's going to get right back to the real purpose behind all this. This pandemic wasn't just please open your eyes up. It wasn't just to take Trump out of office. They played that card. It was a benefit to them, but it's way bigger than that. It's about shoving a needle in your arm. It's about mandating that vaccine. And there's already counties in this country that are coming out and basically saying that we're going to mandate it in America. It's already happening that you can't go into certain cities unless you can prove you've been tested and that you're negative. Even when there's I don't know what it is, 80% false positive on these PCR tests. The narrative has been switched from deaths to cases. They're stealing our very lives and implementing a global authoritarian Orwellian, digital, all-seeing eye state. And we're letting them by capitulating. And I'm so proud of these English over here who aren't capitulating, who are fighting back, who are pushing back on the cops. This is what they should be. We shouldn't be pushing back on the cops for some fake absolute violence against a certain demographic. That's not the major problem here. The major problem is the police enforcing laws that are set in place to limit and take and squelch and stomp out your freedoms. And here in the UK, they're rising up against it, arm in arm. shoulder to shoulder, saying, how dare you? How dare you do this? We're not going to take it. This is, if we want it to stop here in America, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. Not burn cities down, not burn stores down, not enact offensive violence against the cops. We need to flood the streets shoulder and shoulder. Antifa and patriots shoulder and shoulder and saying freedom is the most in the Antifa won't do it because they're communists. They think big government and they think government control is a good thing. But all the freedom loving people, all those classic liberal people that are like freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of expression, right here, what you're seeing. Who cares if you're a liberal or a Republican, conservative or a liberal? We need to, as I talked with my guest, Dustin Gold, on Friday, we need to get away from those classifications of calling ourselves liberal or calling ourselves Republican. And we need to get back to calling ourselves Americans who stand for liberty and stand for freedom. That's all that matters right now. Because now that this election nonsense is coming to an end, and it won't be done for quite some time, we need to somehow figure out how to come together and say, we are not going to allow these elected officials to take away our freedoms. There's plenty of good common sense ways we can keep the vulnerable population safe without shutting our lives down and taking away our freedoms. And that's what we need to come together and get pissed about and rise up against. Till next time, it's SJG Perspective without fear or animus. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.